use of videos in classrooms, I feel there are a lot of benefits for students, not only for students of a second language learning environment, but also for students in general. As an IB film teacher, video tutorials are quite an effective way of getting across some of the necessary techniques that students are required in the use of a lot of the software that we use in terms of video editing and music production. So I've always found that a very effective tool to give, rather than to sit the students down and show them in real time, as a lot of students will miss some of the key parts of those lessons. We do use obviously a lot of TED Talks and YouTube links to get our lessons across, and I think it's quite a good way to spice up a lesson. It can result in students switching off, as I'm sure many experienced teachers will know, but also putting yourself in videos, even as an English teacher, I think is a really good way of spicing up, because they're so used to seeing you in the flesh that sometimes seeing you in video content helps them pay attention, and really if that makes for another memorable lesson, then I think it's definitely worth the teacher's time to invest in making those videos. I myself, I do love making videos. There's a very pragmatic reason for editing and using different tools. It helps me as a film teacher, but it also, I feel like I haven't been dedicated enough. I feel like I could be doing more. And another way that I use videos in the classroom is also to introduce the subjects that the students will be participating in. So usually as a sort of, before they get to choose which subjects they go for, I'll give them a sort of rundown of the assessments and the fields that we'll be exploring in those subjects. Again, it's a nice fun way to do it, and as teachers we're great public speakers, but I feel that if you edit something, you get the opportunity to make yourself a bit more articulate, and that again has another great advantage to preparing lessons. The tools that I use, we have 3 JVC GR-HD1 video cameras, which are just sort of small, medium-sized cameras, as you can see here. And we also have the big boy, the GYH M600, which is a much more advanced camera and higher quality, which is great for students' final projects in film. We also, even from an English point of view, we've used the green screen, so students are able to present from news reading to just general having fun. They will perform better when they know that this green screen is there, because the background is something that they can choose. And again, it just spices up the dynamic of not having to be presenting in front of the students and in a traditional classroom. Moving on to that, so another way that we use video, or that I find effective, is getting away from written essays. For example, last year I implemented a book report project, and the students were allowed to choose how they are assessed in terms of what outcome they produce. And it's great for building their portfolio, and we encouraged video diaries and vlogs and short films, and even one student got very creative by using original video content and manipulating the subtitles to essentially produce his book report. So again, very effective, I thought. The future use of video, these days, even better than my JVC cameras, smartphones are very good with video content, and the editing tools that are available to people, whether on PC or Mac, are there's a great deal of them. Of course, I still prefer Mac Final Cut Pro. I find it a very useful tool, but even iMovie is narrowing the gap in terms of its capabilities as a video editor, and it's free to use, so that is another great video editing tool. In terms of PC, I don't do a great deal of work with PC in terms of creative work. But obviously Adobe Premiere is a very good tool. It's a professional tool, as is Final Cut Pro. In the future, I will always be in the corner of backing the use of virtual reality in the classroom, whether it's creating a virtual learning environment or a multi-user virtual environment, which is essentially getting lots of users onto the platform and engaging with whatever it is, problems or communicating. And it's a great way for multicultural communication to happen in all of these ESL classrooms. So as you can see from this YouTube channel, I do make some tutorials. I wish to make more in the future, although I think this course will keep me busy enough. But feel free to subscribe to that channel and have a look at some of what I've done in the past. And thanks for watching. Okay.